Welcome in. It's the Petland Show, AM 800 KXIC. Talking pets. You have a stinky dog? Oh, I hope not. If you do, Ron's got some answers for you today. Our pets here smell great. They've got that fresh puppy smell right out of the box with Packy Peanuts and all, right?
Yeah.
We've got two puppies here. They're out of the box. They're fresh out of the box. We have these two puppies here, and one of them is a cockapoo. The photo is still up on our Facebook page. You could take a look at that, and actually you could see the new one with Jessica and Katie smiling ear to ear with those puppies in their arms. And the other puppy is a white Coton de Tulear. And we're going to learn what that breed's all about here with Ron Solzert from Petland of Iowa City. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning. How are we all doing?
Good. I think so, right?
Yep, I'm doing good. Am I on the right microphone here?
No. Now.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
How you doing?
I'm doing very, very good.
I am. I'm doing good here. It's even though it's kind of a dreary, rainy start to our morning here. It's always fun when the puppies come in here, and it was funny. You see that reaction, I'm sure, all the time, in the business that you're in. But
yeah.
The minute I told those, and it happened live on the radio, the minute I said I've got a surprise for you, and they took a look at the puppies, they just Katie and Jessica, they were ear to ear grins, weren't they?
Right. Well, I always try to stay out of the way. And so I just had them outside, and I said, I'll get some coffee and all that. And I heard you going into the puppy talk. And so I said, got to bring them in.
Surprise for you.
Oh, they were loving it.
I know. They both texted their husband and boyfriend respectively and said, look who we're bringing home.
And that's how it happened with my house. Gosh, that would be like 15 years ago or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
You said your wife.
We didn't have texting back then. It was just a phone call.
You got a page.
Yeah.
Your beeper went off.
Yeah, that's right. That's what was going on back then.
Got to go find a payphone.
Yeah.
Right, to call back.
Oh, string it in through the car window door.
Oh, geez.
Those were the days.
Yeah, the bag phone. That wasn't.
Oh, I had one of those. Yeah.
It really wasn't that long ago either. Too. That's what's crazy about technology is here we are. You have your laptop. We're streaming the show. You can watch the show live here on the air and all the technology. Ron Solzert here. He's the owner of Petland of Iowa City. And again, we have these two pups here. The cockapoo is brown, and really even to back up what Ron said last week about how you just can't believe this puppy, what it looks like. Jessica backed up by saying it looked fake. It looks like a fake puppy. It
was that teddy bear. She said,
I can't remember the name.
It's a girl thing. And I was like, I knew exactly what she's talking about.
But she's right. I mean, it really looks like it's almost too perfect.
It looks like a little teddy bear. Just a cute, sharp-looking little teddy bear. And
little brown cockapoo. And it's a girl, right?
They're both boys today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so, and that one is a second-generation cockapoo. So it was a cockapoo mixed back with a miniature poodle, and it gives it a tighter curl. The color is amazing on this little one, and it gives it that cute little face that it has there. So
what we talked about the cockapoo last week. Today we're going to talk about the Coton de Tulear, which I'm excited about because I don't know if we've ever done this breed before, and I don't know anything about it. So we'll learn about that. That's the little white pup that you'll see on our Facebook page if you want to go take a look there and see what these pups look like. So we've got that to talk about. I mentioned the stinky dogs. We're going to have something for all you pet owners out there. And I don't know if it works for other animals or whatever, but I know it's supposed to be for dogs specifically. But there's all kinds of fragrances, colognes, and things that really are nice, nice scent. So your dog can, when people run out, when it jumps up on your friend's lap, it's not just stinky.
Yeah, and we'll talk about how techniques that I've used over the years, because we trial a lot of shampoos and colognes and all that kind of stuff. I am sensitive to that doggy smell. I did not grow up with dogs in my house. We had a lot of kids in our house, and we were always, I even tried to bring a beagle home, a little beagle puppy home. And my mom goes, no, I cannot take another thing in this house. There was 3 boys, 2 girls. And so when Wendy and I got together and getting married and all that, in that process, she said, I'm telling you one thing, we're going to have a dog and we're going to have a cat. And I said, I am looking forward to it. I tried to bring it into my family, but
Didn't happen.
It was just too crowded in that house.
Right. And so we are going to talk about that. And also one other thing we're going to mention today, of course, our amazing pet story of the week. And today we're going to feature a cat that was saved by a life-saving blood transfusion from a dog. So I've got that story for it. Pretty cool.
This
huh?
is gonna be different.
So actually, let's do that now. Let's get Big Voice Guy in here. What is he wearing today? What is? I can't tell. Come on, get a tuxedo.
What the heck is
Where are you headed off to?
wedding or something? Or?
He's getting married. Yes, it's Big Voice Woman. We gotta find Big Voice Woman. Big Voice Woman. All right, let's go, Big Voice Guy. I know you got a lot of plans. Where are you getting married? Okay, he's getting married locally here, so he's gonna be out at the church soon enough. So if you see Big Voice Guy out there, say congratulate him and tell him you love the pets.
Only imagine the minister with the deep voices. It's gonna be a deep voice.
I do.
It's time for the amazing pet story of the week.
Congratulations! I know I give you a hard time, Big Voice Guy, but thank you very much for all the work you do here. So anyway, the amazing pet story of the week. It is a pretty fun story. I saw this and I thought I've got to use this for the Big Voice Guy amazing pet story of the week. A cat received a life-saving blood transfusion from a dog. Who says dogs and cats can't get along, right? Some cats and dogs are actually able to get along pretty well. Some maybe so not. Maybe not so, but in this particular case, the dog saved this cat's life. I love this story. A sick cat in Florida got a life-saving blood transfusion from an unlikely donor, a dog. Buttercup is now recovering at home after the procedure at Marathon Veterinary Hospital in the middle of last month. Dr. Sean Perry performed the transfusion. He told ABC News that cross-species blood transfusions aren't common in veterinary medicine, but they are an option in certain cases. It said Dr. Perry says it would have taken at least 24 to 48 hours to get cat blood. Buttercup didn't have that much time. So what did they do? They gave that cat, Buttercup, dog blood and was able to save Buttercup's life. Buttercup's blood volume was so low, they had to make some quick decisions. The pet was lethargic, not wanting to get up, and the cat was saved by, they don't name the dog, but whoever that dog is the hero in this story, and was able to get that dog blood into Buttercup. So how about that for the amazing pet story of the week? Never heard that before.
That's that I had not thought of blood transfusions for dogs and cats, and I'm amazed that trans-species thing could occur.
There's actually a technical name for it, for cross-species blood transfusions. They're called xenotransfusions. So all the veterinary, I bet Dr. Ebert knows about that.
Right. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, the veterinarian population goes,
yeah,
are you kidding?
Of course, yeah, the xenotransfusion. We do that all the time. Give hamster blood to cats and stuff. Do whatever you want. So there you go, the amazing pet story of the week. And we're going to get the breed of the week going here, too. And we're going to learn about the Coton de Tulear. I would actually love to hear from a listener this morning that has one of these breeds. It's a rare sounding breed. I'm curious if there's anyone that has one that's listening. And if you have one, guess what? You get a free bag of treats and a free bag of dog food courtesy of Nutro just for calling the program. 319-354-0800. 319-354-0800. You could also just call with a question if you have something going on with your pets, or if you want to contribute to the show. Feel free to get interactive and call us here this hour, 319-354-0800. That's the phone number to call if you have a question for Ron Salisbury with Petland of Iowa City, or if you just like to tell us that you have the breed of the week, which this week is the Coton de Tulear. If you have one of those dogs, let us know the name of your dog, tell us a little bit about it, and then we'll set you up with a free bag of treats and a free bag of dog food courtesy of Nutro. It's that simple. Tell us the name of your dog, tell us a little bit about your dog, and then we'll let you off the hook, and you get to go and get that free bag of treats and free bag of dog food courtesy of Nutro. So Coton de Tulear owners, anyone out there that has one of those, let us know. 319-354-0800. That's the phone number to call. You could also post a question on our Facebook timeline where you can see photos of the Cockapoo and Coton de Tulear that we have here on our airwaves, actually in the studio. And I should mention it's a Coton de Tulear and a Bichon, right?
Right. It's a mix
breed
of those two.
All right. So we'll be back with more. We're going to talk about that breed of the week and more. Plus, how to solve that stinky dog problem. We've got that for you on KXIC. Stay tuned. It's the latest local news, sports, information, everything you need to get your day started right here on KXIC. Good morning.
AM 800 KXIC on the air from the Concept by Iowa Hearing Aid Center's digital studios.
Join me, Andy Peterson, along with the fullbacks Lou Montgomery and Trevor Bowlers at Shields this Saturday for the Outdoor for Cat Hawkeye Huddle. We'll recap the Iowa-Indiana game and take your calls. See you in person or on the radio at Shields for this week's Hawkeye Huddle after the homecoming game Saturday at Kinnick.
Do you have a furry member of the family? No, not Uncle Joe. Do you have a cat or dog? Hi, I'm KXIC morning host Jay Capron, and I have a simple solution for you, and it worked for me. Devin, Jack, and I have 2 cats, Lucy and Zoe, and every day I found myself sweeping up the cat litter. Then Ron Solzer told me about the top entry litter box at Petland, Iowa City. If you have a dog in your family that likes to get into that cat's box, they won't do it with the top entry box. So head to Petland of Iowa City, located on Lower Muscatine, and also ask about Power Mix. It's a fantastic cat litter that'll freshen up your home.
Foster Appliance is a proud sponsor of the Jay Capron Morning Show. They carry Whirlpool, Amana, Maytag, KitchenAid, and more. Plus, they offer dryer vent cleaning. Visit foster-appliance.com or call 338-5489.
Good morning. We are starting off with some rain showers, especially the farther south you go. Look for a slow clearing trend here by mid to late afternoon. A high this afternoon in the upper 50s, even a few low 60s possible.
Now a check on the roads from the Castle Motor Service Total Traffic Center.
Slow-moving traffic on South Gilbert Street in Iowa City between Benton and Kirkwood Avenue as you down to 1 lane in each direction there. In Cedar Rapids, 3rd Street between 6th and 10th Street Southwest, down to 1 lane of traffic as well for construction, and slow going downtown Cedar Rapids as 2 lanes are closed on both the 2nd and 3rd Avenue bridges. If you see a tie-up, let us know. The Belltone of Iowa Hearing Aid Center's traffic 1039-50545.
Just 4 games into conference play, the Hawkeye volleyball team has already been run through the meat grinder that is the Big Ten schedule. Now they're preparing for their first conference road trip. I'm Brent Balbinot with this edition of Inside Iowa. Head coach Von Szymanski checks in when we return.
Parents, did you know that you're a big influence on your kids' driving habits? October 19th through 25th is Teen Driver Safety Week. Remind your teenager that driving is a privilege they'll lose if they don't drive by your rules. It's not just good parenting, it's a matter of life and death. Talk with your teen about having only 1 passenger in the car at a time, the dangers of texting and driving, and the importance of being home by curfew. And of course, always buckle up. This message is brought to you by the Iowa Department of Public Safety, the Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, and your local law enforcement.
At 0-4 in Big Ten play, the Iowa volleyball team is suffering from a brutal early conference schedule. Coach Von Szymanski says it will only make his team stronger as the season wears on.
We came into conference play at 8-3, and so we've lost 4 straight Big Ten matches. And notably, we played Nebraska twice, top 10 team and a perennial powerhouse national champion. We played Penn State national championship from last year, and Ohio State, who's a great program and team who just beat Nebraska at Nebraska. So it's an opening 4-game run that is probably tougher than any other Big Ten team's opening 4-game run. I'm constantly encouraged about the progress that individual players are making.
The Hawks road trip to Michigan and Michigan State this weekend. The Wolverines are 1-3, the Spartans 2-2 respectively in Big Ten play. Coach Szymanski says this is a good opportunity for his team to get back in the hunt.
Both of the Michigan and Michigan State are teams that are young and a little beleaguered, and some injuries, things like that. 2 premier programs that are premier opportunities for us to get some W's in Big Ten play this weekend. And Michiganders on our team, I know they're excited to go back, compete hard in front of their family and friends there, and we need that. The boost of energy and intensity as we go into an opponent's gym.
The Hawkeyes and Wolverines are scheduled for a 6 o'clock Central Time first serve Friday night in Ann Arbor. I'm Brent Balbinot for Inside Iowa.
This news update is brought to you by Iowa City Landscaping and Garden Center.
In a world of one-stop shopping, quality often takes a backseat to convenience. At Iowa City Landscaping and Garden Center, quality and convenience go hand in hand. We're in the gardening business full-time, so whether you're an avid gardener or novice, our friendly, professional staff can assist you in selecting the right products for your needs. Visit the Garden Center this summer for weekly specials on selected trees, shrubs, perennials, or grasses. And remember, it's never too early to start planning for your upcoming landscaping project, so contact our design staff today. We're easy to find at 520 Highway 1 West on Iowa City's southwest side or at iowациtylandscaping.com.
Good morning in the WMT and KXIC newsroom. I'm Andy Peterson. The Iowa City Council postponing discussion on development proposals for city-owned land near Court and Lynn Streets, where the old St. Pat's Church Parish Hall was destroyed by a tornado in 2006. Councilmember Susan Mims serving on a city committee that narrowed the list to 3 finalists.
We received correspondence that looks like it could be potential litigation. So for that reason, we did not talk about the proposals at the council meeting to give the city attorney and her staff time to review that correspondence and the process and give us a recommendation.
Representatives and an attorney associated with Iowa City-based Prairie Sun Building Services contacting the city. They had a development proposal that was not chosen as a finalist, but they claimed their proposal was the only project that met all the criteria laid out in the city's request. Company asking the city council to reject all of the non-complying proposals and direct city staff to negotiate a final contract with them for development of the site. University of Iowa President Sally Mason says she expects employees will ask a lot of questions during a forum today to discuss a consultant's sweeping cost-cutting recommendations. Deloitte Consulting last week telling the Iowa Board of Regents that the universities could save a significant amount of money by cutting the number of employees who work in areas such as human resources, information technology, and finance, and using fewer printers and desktop computers. The Regents gathering feedback on the proposals on the university campus and expected to vote next month. Repaving work expected to start on First Avenue in Coralville next week. Mayor John Lundell says the work will cause delays for motorists.
The pelling company will come in and grind away the current surface and lay down an entire new asphalt overlay on the outside lanes. So they'll shut down 2 lanes, like the 2 southbound lanes, and make northbound 1 lane in each direction, and so forth. It'll be an inconvenience for our businesses and for our road users, but when it's done, it'll really be an improvement.
Authorities say a man entered a family medical clinic yesterday morning and dropped off a newborn baby in Des Moines, telling staff the baby was just born at a bus stop and then he left. Police Sergeant Jason Halifax says the baby was taken to Blank Children's Hospital and there's no indication of criminal activity at this point. The case being turned over to the DHS under the Safe Haven law. Cost of a health insurance policy will be going up for individuals next year. State Insurance Commissioner approving average rate hikes from 8.7% for Coventry Health to 14.5% for Co-Opportunity Health and 14.3% for Wellmark. Companies asking for rate increases for 2015 because of the amount of claims and their dollar amount under the new Obamacare rules higher than expected. Commissioner Nick Gerhardt says the hikes may not be as bad next year because they'll have claims information.
When the carriers filed these rate increases earlier here, they had maybe a couple months of credible claims data. Now, they're pushing on 8-9 months of data. Certainly next year when they file any rate increase, they'll have much more data. So yes, more data is probably coming in every day.
And Gerhardt says about 5,000 Iowans will need to pick up a new health insurance policy for next year as a couple of companies have opted not to carry the high-end platinum plans. And Dr. Christine Peterson of the University of Iowa's College of Public Health says there's a lot of bad information out there when it comes to Ebola. She says, while it's certainly a very bad infection, there is an effective way to control it.
It's been shown that quarantining these people and not allowing them to have exposure to others can really prevent spread of the disease.
You can find our bit of news and video online and on demand 24/7 at KXIC.com. I'm Andy Peterson reporting.
What a season it's been for the Anamosa Blue Raiders on the football field. After losing 26 straight, they've won 5 in a row and are off to a 5-1 start this season. I'm KCRG TV9 Scott Sable. The last time the Anamosa football team had a winning season was back in 2004. Since then, they've had 5 winless seasons, but that has all changed this year. The Blue Raiders have already clinched a playoff spot for just the 3rd time in program history. Part of Anamosa's success comes from the running game led by fullback Trevor Whaling, who has nearly 600 yards this season. Former Hawkeye linebacker Christian Kirksey is appealing his $8,268 fine for his forearm to the head of Jake Locker. Browns coach Mike Petland defended Kirksey, saying he wasn't a dirty player and also pointed out he was coming off a block. College volleyball night outlasted defending Iowa Conference champion Wartburg in 5 sets, winning the 5th set. Pointed out he was coming off a block. College volleyball last night outlasted defending Iowa Conference champion Wartburg in 5 sets, winning the 5th set 15-9 to raise their record to 19-5 overall, 4-0 in the conference. Kirkwood is the #1 ranked team in the country. The Eagles swept 8th ranked Nyack last night in Cedar Rapids. I'm KCRG TV9 Scott Sable, and now you're up to date with sports on KXIC.
Welcome back. It's the Positively Petland Show, AM 800 KXIC. I'm Jay Capron. We have Ron Salzard here with Petland of Iowa. Brown cockapoo being chased literally right now by by a Coton de Tulear and Bichon mix. A Coton Bichon. So that's what we have going on here at the KXIC studios. We had Jessica Whitman and Katie Schmelzer earlier this morning, and that's when the puppies arrived, and they had fun playing with these two. You could see what they look like, the puppies, that is. And Katie and Jessica, if you're curious, with the voice matches the person. That something I always hear on the radio is people never look like what they sound like on the radio. The pictures are up on Facebook if you'd like. We already had the amazing pet story of the week, which featured a cat named Buttercup in Florida that was saved by a dog's blood. It was a blood transfusion. And we also talked a little bit about what, previewed the show and what we're going to talk about here moving forward. Over the break, we can let you behind the curtain here a little bit. Ron and I were talking about Kansas City barbecue, and now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I want lunch
Oklahoma
now. Oklahoma Joe's.
Jack Stack.
Oh, man, you were just there, and that kind of leads into sort of what we're going to talk about later.
Overeating.
Overeating, and also the reason you were there was an inventory seminar, and you talked about different products, but you're going to talk about a couple products to help.
We're going to eliminate stinky, and we got some stuff in the news that I wanted to bring on there about obesity.
Obesity and
we
dogs.
can start off with that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's. You found a news piece on that?
Yeah. What I was always just looking through the news and saying, what are some articles that are interesting about pets, and something that we actually just had a discussion in the studio as well about, and that was the dogs and the cats that are overweight. The article was talking about disease, and I thought they were going to say, how people can get diseases from their animals or something, but it was the same story that we hear about ourselves. Overweight contributes to or diminishes our immunity, and we then are more susceptible to different things, everything from sicknesses. In this article, for our pets, even went to cancer, and so they just said obesity in your pet. The title of the article, shrug this off, and your pet could become a disease magnet. And that kind of sparked my interest when I saw it, and I was like, what is it talking about? Well, it talks about the same thing on the obesity side for pets, and we've talked about this over the years on this radio. And what is this thing? This article talks about 30% of cats are overweight, 36% of dogs are overweight, and it goes on to clarify how much overweight and all that, and it gets even worse and worse as far as the percentage of our pets that are overweight. The conclusion to the article: feed your dog or your cat less. That's
simple.
That's all it. You can boil it all down, and you just decrease it a little. Talking about the studio pug that was overweight, and all you got to do, you can go to the overweight formulas, but all they're doing is decreasing the calories of that kibble. Well, you can do the same thing by just feeding the same good kibble that you're doing right now. Just feed less of it. And my own experience, and I've shared this on the radio a lot, is when Wendy and I bought Petland of Iowa City, we switched from one of those market type brands to one of the brands that were in our store. All this time we're talking with our customers because we're learning about all the great nutrition and stuff, and we're talking with our customers and saying, oh yeah, you're going to feed half as much and all this kind of stuff. When we took it home, we did, I think, what most of our customers do, in fact, is we forget to cut it in half. And so we were feeding the same amount. Well, Callie, our dachshund, went from this lean and mean, skinny, our Dr. Ebert always said, hey, gosh, this is a really healthy looking dachshund and all that, to within 2 months was overweight in a large way. All we were doing was feeding too much. And so we've cut down on the food. In our case, it was literally in half because we just didn't do that. We switched to a Nutro brand, and we didn't decrease it. And so she got fat because, hey, we were feeding too many calories. Once we decreased it, now Callie came back down in weight, and it was as easy as that. Do you get the puppy look? Those little doggy eyes looking up on you? Yes. Do they try to train you and say, I want more? Yes. But what is, we got to be the parent in that situation and feed them the right amount. And so we just did it slowly. I always looked at it as one kibble layer, when you scoop your cup up, one kibble layer less. And we were putting lines on the cup and everything. And we got to the point where Callie was maintaining a healthy weight. Dr. Ebert confirmed that. And we just said, okay, this is what Callie looks like when she's at a healthy weight. Let's just maintain it. So almost on a week to week, at least month to month, we're adjusting her amount that we feed her based on what she looks like and making sure that she's healthy. So you can do the same thing. It's that easy. Just feed a little less over months. Decrease that weight. If you think that, hey, you need to decrease a little bit more because of the weight is still up, well, then decrease a little bit more. But it is a month. It's over 6 months, 9 months that you're doing this, not over 1 week. So just do it slowly and surely, and you'll do a good job. It's that easy, really it is, on keeping your pet at a healthy weight, and you will save money in another way in that they're healthier now. So you're not going to have those colds and the flu-like symptom type stuff, or even more, the cancerous type stuff. And all that. So it's a healthier pet.
And when you see those puppy dog eyes, just remember you're doing what's best for that dog anyway, by reducing its weight, because it's not going to be not going to stay with you as long if it's a big fat dog, unfortunately.
Right. It'll have a shorter lifespan as well.
No doubt. It's 8:37, and I'm Jay Capron. That's Ron Salzard with Petland of Iowa City. So now it's time to learn about our breed of the week. It's a strange name that I'm totally unfamiliar with, so I'm very curious to learn about the Coton de Tulear. That is the breed of the week. If you have one, let us know. We'd love to hear from you this morning. 319-354-0800. 319-354-0800. We'd love getting your phone calls if you do have the breed of the week. All we ask you to do is tell us your name and then the name of your dog. Tell us a little bit about the breed, and then you get a free bag of treats and a free bag of dog food courtesy of Nutro just for calling the show. 319-354-0800. The call is out to any Coton de Tulear owners. I don't know if we're going to get any of those. I don't know how popular this breed
is. Not
very popular,
right.
But it'd be cool to get a phone call from someone who has one, or even one that you can also call if you're wondering if it's a mixed breed, because actually the one we have is a mixed breed. We have a Coton
mixed with the Bichon, yeah.
But we're going to talk about the Coton de Tulear today. So tell us about this breed, Ron.
So the history of the Coton dates back to ships a long time ago. They used the Coton as a rodent exterminator on the ship. And so the Coton wandered the ship and took care of all the rodents around the ship.
How about that?
Isn't that kind of interesting? Yeah. And they don't have a lot of history of way back on the Coton, but the furthest they have reference to it is a shipwreck off of the coast of Madagascar. Madagascar is in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Africa. Madagascar is the 4th largest island in the world. And I'm not sure what defines an island, but this is a big island.
Yeah.
And
it's a very strange place for ecosystem. There's a lot of things there that are not in other parts of the world.
Yeah, the reptile department. I remember, the research that they do in Madagascar on reptiles.
Very unique island for sure.
So there was a shipwreck off the coast, and this dog was witnessed of swimming from the shipwreck onto the island, and there must have been more than one because they propagated them. And so Madagascar then lays claim to the source of the Coton de Tulear.
But it had to have come from somewhere on the ship to get to the shipwreck, right?
Yeah,
but nobody knows.
There's no reference prior to that of where it came. So Madagascar, it became, like we hear a lot about these purebreds, that was their coveted dog. It's actually on their stamp right now, one of their postage stamps.
Oh, really?
And so they think highly of the Coton de Tulear. Unfortunately, right now, because of political turmoil on that island, the Coton is not being supported and is actually going into extinction on the island. But we have Cotons off that island, so obviously the breed's going to be maintained, and AKC will maintain it as well. The French phrase for it, the French colonists also adopted in the Coton, and that's where that French-esque name comes from. Coton refers to cotton, and that's that soft white coat that the Coton
I can see
has.
that for sure because this is a very soft, fluffy dog here.
So that's it's kind of a neat history.
That is cool, and that's again a perfect example of how why I like with the breed of the week, because we learn, and some like this dog have a really interesting history too.
And so the Coton is similar to the Bichon in that it is one of the best non-shedding dogs, and so those people with allergies frequently find this dog as the breed of choice because of their allergies are either very minimized or non-existent. Now that's going to be different for everybody, so don't take that as, oh my gosh, let's just go get one. Go try it out. Let it, play with it. See if there's any allergic reaction. If you want to have those type of reactions, this one you tend to have less of those reactions. So it might be the breed for you in that regard. It is a smaller dog. It is a non-shedding dog. So realize that you're going to have, every 1 to 3 months you're going to go to the groomer on this, depending on how you like the haircut and all that. So the weight is in that 12 to 15 pounds. So it is that smaller medium dog, much smaller than, let's say, a beagle. And it's all white. It's got a very spunky personality, very nice personality, family oriented and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really nice breed.
That's actually one thing before we move on that I wanted to point out about this breed that I found this online. I thought this would be helpful for people. Is that if you're one of those people that grew up with a lab, raise your hand like me, and you love the lab, it actually says on a description, the Coton de Tulear is a large dog personality, much like a lab. They love to run, swim, and play, but they're not as big. So if you have an apartment or somewhere where you can't have a big old lab, this may be a good dog for you because it has that same fun personality that labs just, labs just they're great family dogs, and so is the Coton de Tulear. A little smaller though, for sure. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So that's the Coton de Tulear, the breed of the week. If you have one, hey, we'd love to hear from you this morning. I'd be impressed if we get a call today, since it is somewhat of a rare breed. 319-354-0800. 319-354-0800. And you can also just call if you have a question. It's time to talk pets. This is what we do here on KXIC every Thursday morning in the 8 o'clock hour. We talk about our fun friends. And I actually was thinking about this the other day, Ron. I think at some point we're going to have to do a show with some funny stories to try and encourage callers, because I have a feeling there's some good stories. I was telling one the other day that always makes me laugh when I think my dad, real quickly, I know I've told this before, but he was pretty helpless when my mom was around to cook, and so we went and got a frozen pizza, which he never did. He really didn't like frozen pizzas, but he bought one of those supreme ones, the more expensive ones,
Yeah.
And he put it up.
This is gonna taste good.
And he turned on the oven to preheat it. Went downstairs, came back up. The only thing left is the cardboard circle. The entire frozen pizza's gone, and so he goes to me first because I was a little jokester. He's like, Jay, what where'd you hide my pizza? What you didn't do it? And I'm like, I didn't do it. And then we turn and look, and there's Bandit, the yellow lab. And he's got that look on his eyes, that very common. Head down, like I did
didn't do it.
I wasn't supposed to do. Ate the whole pizza frozen, and I just, it was a funny story and an appropriate name too, Bandit. Stole the pizza, but I think that might be fun to do for a show. So maybe looking for listeners to give some funny stories next week or sometime coming up, because I think there's some good ones.
Keep it a reoccurring. You know me. I'm always.
And I think it's great because there's so many, because they're crafty and they become part of your family. And I know that there's got to be some people out there with some great stories.
So what's the phone number? What do they call if they have that?
319-354-0800. 319-354-0800. That's the number to call. And you're always encouraged to call us up and have some fun with us here as we talk pets and hear some stories. We heard that one amazing story. I remember we had the breed of the week, which the dog lost a leg. Remember that? That was a great story. Had only 3 legs, and the person who called us said when they brought him home, they thought that's going to take some time to rehab, and opened the car door and gone, took off running with 3 legs without even missing a beat. That was another good personal story. 319-354-0800. And if you have the Coton, be sure to call today. It's your breed of the week. So now let's talk about stinky dogs. You have a big bin from Petland here, big basket here that you, I'm sure, have a store people shop with.
Yeah.
And it's full of things.
Right. I went around the store and just picked out those things that help you with, stinky dog. And this is near and dear to my heart in that, I was saying in front of the show that I didn't grow up with dogs, and so I'm just not used to that smell. What's funny is I'm used to ferret smell. And everybody, like if people come up to the ferrets, oh, they stink. And I go, I know what you're talking about, but I don't find that offensive. It's what we're used to. And so if you are one of those people that are either you're sensitive to that smell yourself, or you don't want to offend others. You don't want your house smelling like a dog, so to speak. Techniques that I've found over the years, and then working with all these different manufacturers of the shampoos and dog foods and all that kind of stuff, I've listened to them and I've tried all those different things to say, what works, what doesn't work. One of the first things that we learned was that if you feed your dog a good nutrition, high quality nutrition, they will actually stink less. And I thought that was funny. So Callie and Susie at home are on a great nutrition, and it did decrease it a little bit. I was still sensitive, and I said, okay, I got that little improvement. Can I take this even further? So I started looking for the best shampoos, and so when I'm at the trade shows, I'm quizzing and challenging those shampoo manufacturers on why is your shampoo the best, and then trying it and saying, does it really do what they say? In the industry, when you go to the shelf, if you buy a cheaper, less than $10, less than $8 bottle of shampoo, it is on the lower scale of things. And what they do is they thin those shampoos out. That is exactly what I've seen them. I see it at the trade shows. That's what they tell me they do. And so you're buying more water than shampoo. And one of the most expensive shampoos that we have in our store is one of the most concentrated. It's by Bobby Panther.
Do you have it?
Yeah. And right on the bottle, she has 20-to-1 ratio. So to a normal shampoo, this is 20 times stronger. So this bottle, which is a normal shampoo size bottle, is actually 20 times the original concentration.
It's called Stinky Dog by Bobby Panther. Is that right?
Bobby Panther.
How much is that bottle?
I think you're in the teens, low teens.
Oh,
so it's not, we're not talking like huge dollars here.
But it's like the laundry soap or the other stuff you get that's concentrated, right? Where you can just use a little bit of it.
Right, exactly.
And it does.
It's the same thing. We're watching an air bubble go up through the shampoo, and it is slow as molasses.
Yeah, you could tell that's thick stuff.
Yeah, if I had other shampoos, you would see that water bubble or the air bubble goes whoop all over the place really quickly.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
So you can get highly concentrated. And on Bobby Panther, she puts it's in small writing towards the bottom, but concentrated to a 20-to-1 ratio.
So just use a little bit of it, and get rid of that stinky dog smell.
So
curious,
look at
can I open to see what it smells like, or is
Sure.
the package? You don't have to open it. I mean, it's for sale, so that's fine. I just was curious if you could smell it.
No, you're bringing up the next point. You gotta like the smell that you're buying here.
Yeah,
and so I think that is important to open that thing up and smell it. One of the most smelly of shampoos.
It's not. Just to give our listeners an idea, I know smells are very hard to explain on the radio, but that wasn't a very perfumey smell. It's not like a flowery or anything like that. It just has that clean
smell.
Clean smell, right?
Right. And so that's Bobby Panther. Another line of shampoos that are high end, high quality. We're not talking over $20 here. We're still in the teens. Also concentrated and all that. This is by BioGroom. When you see AKC dogs and all that kind of stuff at the shows, a lot of them are using BioGroom products. And so that's what brought me to the BioGroom line. Now smell this one.
Okay. Doing this live on the air.
Right. Now that one's going to have a more perfumey smell.
Yes. Yeah.
Still the clean smell, but it is
a little bit more of the perfume.
It's strong. What I like about this one is that smell on that shampoo stays with the dog really, really well.
I will point out the air bubble went faster to the top.
Yes, that's not a concentrated like this.
That one, the first one the bubble took forever to get to the top, which tells you how concentrated that is. It's a thicker one for the Bobby's Stinky Dog formula. This one's called BioGroom.
BioGroom, made by BioGroom, well-known company in the industry as far as quality goes.
Tear-free, which is good.
Tear-free. I went to BioGroom, and my question was, what do you have that will, like on my dachshund? That's a hound. Hounds have that doggy smell, and they get it really quick. Within a day of washing Callie, you already smell the hound smell again. BioGroom allows her to go for almost a full week, and you could still smell that really fresh scent on her. So that's what I loved about BioGroom. Right. For all these shampoos, I do find you can use a lot of shampoo all at once and get a lather going, or you can use, I do it in 3 washings. So I put a strip of shampoo along their back and on their head, and then I rub it in, and I use water to dilute and get the soap to go all around the dog, and I lather them up. Usually the first time I'm doing this, after a week, it doesn't lather up because the oils in their skin are being solubilized by the agents within the shampoos. I then rinse it off, get a good rinse, and then I shampoo again, and I'm going to do that 3 times. I found that works best. And on that third one, I'm still using the same small amount on my dog, but now I'm getting a foamy lather. I'm doing a lot of good rinsing and all that kind of stuff. So on those short-haired dogs, you're rinsing away also that they have tucked away in their fur, and so you're getting rid of that, so it's less in the house. But you're also getting rid of all those oils that are producing that smell that we don't desire.
I've got a related question here for you, and it comes to mind because I'm looking at this Bobby's Stinky Dog formula, and it says on it, deodorizing shampoo eliminates odors, even skunk. So this is something we haven't talked about on this show, but can you address that real quick? Because we just had an incident. It didn't happen. My wife was outside late at night going out to the car for something, and a skunk walked right up to her. She froze. She didn't know what to do. And then it just walked right away, which is good because it didn't spray her. But for dogs, we all know those dogs that, let's go play with this black and white thing, and then we get sprayed. One of my friends just had it happen. They said it got all over inside the house, clothes and everything. Do you have something? If someone says, "Hey, I got skunked," I'm sure it's happened. People come into Petland and say, I got skunked. Where do you point them?
We actually have, not only does Bobby Panner have Stinky Dogs that addresses that issue, we have another product that it's labeled removes skunk odor. It's a shampoo that is directly for that. It's one of those products that we keep on the shelf. You don't sell a lot of it, but when somebody needs it, they need it bad. Yeah. And so then we'll be selling it.
So none of that tomato sauce stuff. I don't know if that works or not, but it's good to know that you have a product to help
the customers out. That I think before they even come into the store, they've already gone through all the home remedies and they're going, oh, okay, whatever, that didn't work. And so what do you got? And we always get great feedback on the shampoo specifically for that skunk, in fact, that says, that actually got rid of that smell and made it so my dog was tolerable.
Good.
I could bring him back in the house because that was just unbelievable.
I'm glad you brought that, or you brought up an answer there to that question, because I don't think we've ever talked about being skunked on this show. We've been doing it for several years, so maybe that helps out anybody. Yeah, keep that in the back of your mind.
I think we're coming into the skunk season.
I don't know. I know she saw it just a couple weeks ago, and she was freaked out because she, what do you do? I mean, if you move, maybe you'll scare it. Or if you just walk, I guess just hold still, let it walk. And
next week,
try not to spook it.
We'll bring skunks back up, and I'll have a funny, not a pet story, but a funny animal story from when I was a child. It's one of those that my dad loves to tell everybody, and so it'll be a good laugh.
Just a couple more minutes. You brought up another product. This is also from BioGroom. What is that one?
For some reason, when we think of our dogs, we don't think of conditioners for their hair. Conditioners are wonderful, not only for the longer hair that we have, especially the ladies. You use conditioners. You know why the conditioners are important. Same exact thing applies for dogs. So if you have a longer hair dog, you can get the combo, shampoo, conditioner. But how did that work for you? Usually not all that well when you combine those two products. There are some of those, maybe on the shorter hair dogs, it's fine. But on those longer hair dogs, get the conditioner. My favorite by far over all the research is BioGroom conditioner. It's called Silk. Holy cow. This, how there's different grades of conditioners out there that you use in your own hair, and some of them work better than others. Silk by BioGroom is unbelievable on what it does for your dog. It also has that really strong smell, so it leaves your dog smelling really good. On the non-shedding dogs, I can still smell this conditioner in washed her 2 weeks ago, and when I bring her up to my nose, I'm like, wow, I can still smell it in you. So that's a huge benefit there. Not only is there her hair really soft and smooth and not tangly, but it also has that fresh scent. There's also the waterless shampoos where on your dog, and then you have to use a small towel to wipe it off. And so it isn't anywhere near as good as washing your dog, but some of us have those dogs that you just are not going to get them washed. That's a nice fresher upper. You get into colognes. Hey, there are some wonderful colognes out there that, you know, the traditional baby, you know, scent and all that kind of stuff, but they also have perfumes, White Dalmatians.
The names were kind of funny. I remember last time.
CK9. I'm not don't recognize what these things are same as or whatever, but CK9, I was told that that's the unisex cologne. Actually, it says it right on here, Unipet cologne.
Unipet.
And I don't recognize that. So these colognes are very intense, just like the perfumes. The way I apply these perfumes is I spray it on my hand, and then I rub my hands together, and then I wipe down the dog with my hand. And that usually leaves that, for our dog, that's all it takes to get that on it, and they got that fresh scent going forward. The last thing, I'm going to squeeze it in here, is we talked about good nutrition is great for your dog's skin and coat. You can even supplement that up even more. So there's the omega-3s, fatty acids. There's brewer's yeast that is known to help your dog's skin and coat. We've got all sorts of different products that boost those up. So no matter what food you're feeding, you can throw this into the bowl or use it as a treat. This one's called Love Drops by Nature Vet, and it hits the skin and coat from multiple angles so that you have the healthiest skin and coat that you can for your dog. And it is something that you do notice within 30 days. It takes a little bit for that hair to grow out. Holy cow, does it get shinier, healthier looking, and it even feels nicer on the dog. So
nice.
All these, but it's funny. Love Drops, they're in the shape of a heart.
Little hearts.
Yeah, that's cute.
Cool.
So all of this is to keep your dog healthier, have a healthier skin and coat, and minimize that stinkiness.
Won't have that stinky smell, so that it's that's a lot of good products here. You can check them out. It's like those perfume commercials, right? It's like CK9 by Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein.
I don't know.
I just smell it. It smells pretty good. I love it.
CK, I'm guessing.
I think Jay needs a little bit of this right now.
Give me a squirt. I'm a stinky guy. It is, no, I'm not. I hope not. 9:59, it is 51 degrees at the KXIC studios. We have community calendar coming up. Ron, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for coming along.
Thank you very much.
Invite everybody out to Petland if you could as we wrap up.
We're Petland of Iowa City. We're located across from the indoor portion of the Sycamore Mall, now known as Marketplace. We're really happy to have that new Lucky's Market
next spring.
Coming in the spring. And we are open from Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. And then on Sundays we're open from noon until 6. Everybody comes in for those $5 nail trims. It is a wonderful way of getting those under control for your dog, and it's economical. $5 is all it is. No appointments necessary. Most of our dog food is on a buy 10, get one free. So that's a really cool thing. We track it for you, so you're not having to cut the UPCs or receipts or anything like that. We track it for you, and we get you that new one when you get that 11th bag. So there's a lot of perks in our store.
That's Ron Salzrud with Petland of Iowa City. Coming up, we are going to have a community calendar to get to. So stay tuned. That's coming up next on AM 800 KXIC, Iowa City. I'm Jay Capron. Thanks for tuning in, each and every one of you. We love you guys. You're the listeners that make it happen here on KXIC. Thanks for coming along. More to come. I've got Joe Dwyer coming up, talk about Run for the Schools. He's scheduled to join me this morning. Morning.
Program